Hey guys, today we're taking a peek inside our classroom, so come along. Babe, it's so big right now. People, don't act like you didn't see that, okay? Ay, Dios mío, if I said colors at the beginning, I am sorry. I'm losing it because I'm mentally unfit. Hey guys, for today's video, I thought I would do a classroom tour. Now, there's a couple things I want to say is one, you do not need a classroom in order to homeschool your kids. And two, your learning environment may not look like this in order to homeschool. And this may not be your teaching style. You may be an unschooler, and that's perfectly fine. Can't speak English. Anyway, for me, myself, and mine, this is where most of the learning happens. Wow, this is going somewhere, babe. Anyway, let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to an Otter Adventure, where we share glimpses into our homeschool life. Please follow along for more. We're gonna start at the shelves. Clearly, we do school on this table. This is Zeke's stuff. These two are divided for Zeke. The one at the bottom is our notebook, mainly brand new, which is why I have a whole bunch of junk I need to get rid of. Anyway, these are all new. And then below that, each one of these blue shelves is assigned something. So this first shelf has puzzles for Zeke and stationery items because I like to do some stationery things while I school. I also like card making, so I have this so I could cut some cards. Now, the second shelf is Jake's homeschool items. My arm's getting tired. I need to work out. Mainly, I have master books, except for a Fix-It Grammar. After that, we have our reading, and reading intervention is typically down here. At the bottom is more of those easy phonics reader for, reading intervention. So basically, these two are a mix of phonics, books for the year, and a more phonics practice, such as Explode the Code and stuff like that. In this blue, I have like the resources, like flashcards, some boggle, and this one is basically English because it's at the English area. We have a game that Jake's really into. It's called Blah Blah Blah. He played this with his tutor. And there's also like Lego builders. Now, if we move on to the next shelf, this is all science. I'm lying. It's science and like Zeke preschool things and mainly whatever fit. So in the back, I have like the ultimate bug book, and we have 3 of those because, we're into bugs. I also have my Bible here and some fiction reading like Harry Potter and The Witcher. Now, because I said that this is the science shelf, we then have like pocket microscopes. We have some snake skin, and we have more bugs up there I will show you shortly. We also have some science kit. We got this from Co-op last year. And then I also have multiple stages of stamps for different animal cycles, more like insect, like bugs life cycle, because I don't have animal life cycles. Look at the larva of this one. You see that? So this one, as I mentioned, is all science, and there's a lot of things in there. Now, here's the thing. Have I used these things? No, you saw that was brand new. I did cut some out, and then after the fact, then I bought the stamps, so we never got to use it in the unit that I did with Jake when he was younger. But I'm holding it because I was like, I could do it with Zeke. For Jake, that interest lasted so long that I'm hoping that it's the same way. So we got multiple uses out of what I had before I got these. The next shelf, as I scoop myself backward weirdly, the next shelf, we have Play-Doh. So this is Zeke's Play-Doh equipment, and then inside here is Play-Doh. And below that is, we have some bingo. We have dot cards to help count, so I'll show this to Zeke and he'll touch it. We also have abacuses and blocks. I just bought this one last year, but Jake's beyond that stage. So I bought it last year for Zeke. a lot of different tools. There's even like a very long number line. Jake did that and Zeke did that last year-ish. And I don't play with it always because then they'll get tired of it. I was doing it with Jake. He was bored of the way that we were doing it. So I went out and I bought a different manipulative. That way it didn't become like repetitive. And he found it enjoyable and he knew that we would always have something fun in order to practice what we were learning, like adding. The next shelf, these are oversupplies that I typically take to co-op. So there's multiple pencils and art things. And then below that, I have geography. Now for geography, I just started teaching geography basically because my thing about geography was that it was incorporated in some of the classes that we were doing, that there was no need for a separate like focus subject. So that's why it's a very slim 180-day geography second grade. So I've had this since second grade. As I look at Blake. We also have some thinking tree, a map of the states and stickers. Now I am not from United States, so I figured that we would fill it in as we learn each state's history. So I'll get to put, no, that's Alaska. Oh, there's Hawaii. So I would be able to put Hawaii now because we're in Hawaii and we studied Hawaiian history and stuff like that. But it's very empty compared to the other ones that are like bursting at the seams. Because, you know, I don't have any issues. We made it to the next shelf. This one is another thing of art. Like we have all our markers for painting rocks in here. There's pens, but they're non-erasable, so Jake doesn't get to use them. I mainly do, and I love stationery, so I have a lot of stationery things like pens. There's Sharpies and felt tips and mild liners. Above that, these are all the erasable pens that Jake has to color with. I mean, to do his school. Like he writes in pen. And then he has markers, and behind that is chalk. Now the chalk is for Zeke, and I'll show you that area in a minute. Or you know what, I'll show you now. So right by the door, I have this chalkboard. It's a little tiny chalkboard. We did have a big one that was like standing up and like his height, like it was big. I ended up giving it to the neighbor because, well, we're moving, we need to downsize. Like by next month, this classroom should not be here, and I should have all my school things in only one tote instead of this whole big thing. So you should stay tuned to find out like why. Subscribe down below. Anyway, let's continue. This is the chalkboard, and Zeke gets to write his letters there with the chalk that is behind that shelf. Now, if I stand up, I reach the next shelf because they are long like this. Okay, so if we look at this shelf, this is the one that I have all our reward systems and calendar. Now, I already took off our calendar because I got a smaller one, because I do like to show the calendar for both boys, especially for Jake, so that he could be able to write the date on his assignments. I also have some reward cards. Now, these are stampable and it's 10 days. So either 10 days or 10 acts. Sometimes when I'm out and about and I'm with both boys and they're not behaving and I'm like, here is a stamp card. If you get to 10, you get something. And every time they make a good choice, I give them a stamp. And yes, that sounds like I'm training a dog, but you know what? They both are cute, cuddly, destroy things, and well, all I have to say.
You just call her.
Yeah, sort of. Oops. Don't laugh at me. Okay. If you don't know, you see how these things are falling off the wall that they're supposed to be hanging? Yeah, I'm falling apart too. Okay, so you're welcome. You're welcome. Come along for the ride. I'll give you some perfectly good parenting tips. I need help, so don't follow me for good tips, because that's not gonna happen here. I'll just show you what I do and you choose to do or not to do. Continuing. So this is my Osmo Games. This is where you would put the tablet, and I basically have every game underneath the moon and the stars. This one is called Enchanted World Game, and we've never used it. Have we? Okay, well, we used it. I really just don't remember because Jake used to use this before we came to Hawaii. So that was 3 years ago that he was really, really into these. And then it kind of like died. I kept them because they still go through multiplication and division, and he's still doing that. So it's been such a long while too that he might actually play these now. But because we're getting ready to move, everything is like gonna be packed up, so it won't be now. Okay, this one is Amazing Airships, and Jake actually loved this one. I remember playing it with him. You have to make both sides be even. Yeah, hopefully that made sense. I don't know if that made sense, but if it did. Now, below that one is our stickers. Now, for Zeke's school, we call it Zeke's school. When we do Zeke's school, he gets a letter each week. For 1 week, he gets one letter, or for 2 weeks, he gets a letter. And then he gets stickers, and we do different numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you could hear her. Anyway, based on those numbers, he uses stickers to put on that number. So if it said 1, he'll put 1 sticker. If it said 3, he'll put 3 stickers. And we also have stickers based on sounds. So if the letter of the week is A, right, then I have a whole bunch of stickers that will be ah sound. I know one time we did monkeys and mailbox, milk stickers. There's a mouse one, a monster one, so we got to add those into his notebook. Moving on to the next shelf, this is where our art things begin. And in this shelf, we have felt and sewing items. Jake for a while and I were into sewing and felting, and we would make fruits, we would sew things. Not the best of things, but we still did it. We had fun doing it. Jake actually has a bird that he cut out in felt, and then he sewed it together, so it's just a 2-layer thing. And I'm just gonna go right across it because right across it is another art shelf. Now inside this art shelf, we have wood making supplies. We have pre-made crafts in here. There's 3D printing, like not 3D printing, but a 3D melting, a plastic melting thing, so you can make 3D items. This is one of the samples of the Lowe's or Home Depot builds. They have the opportunity to make it whenever. All they have to do is come in here and do it. They haven't elected to do it. There's also origami and puff paint in here. There's just a whole bunch of junk for craft making. Now, if you have a boy, you know that boys don't craft, they game. And even though I've tried to force like crafting, they will, but they always choose to paint rocks. So we have a whole bunch of rocks in the front of the house being painted right now. It's a disaster. Yep. I'm being honest. Okay, but moving on from the disastrous hoarding thing occurring over here, let's move on to the next shelf. The next shelf is books. So these are books that Jake wanted, and so they live here. The next shelf right here is coloring books and just more artsy things. There's black paper in here, there's crossword puzzles. This is like our junk like they could use anytime that they want. So the last shelf is this one right here. Now, I love to make letters to people, like snail mail. I'm in love with snail mail, and I like sending snail mail. Here's the thing. I have like a whole bunch of cards to send off. I have stickers to make my own because I like card making and like die cutting. There's tape in here and some printing things. But although I love to do all this, I never send them. Here's one. Here's one that I wrote forever ago when I lived in Alaska. 6 years ago, okay? So this is just another way to say that I have problems and you don't need something this big to homeschool. Yeah, it's like a whole bunch of things of look what I have that I don't need. I'm sorry, babe, that I'm a hoarder. Okay, let's move on to the top.
At least
so,
it's for homeschooling.
Yeah, it's homeschooling.
Anything else?
Not only that, but here's the thing. I got my bachelor's degree in education, and I was like, I'm gonna go teach at a school. And Jake was going into school age, and things changed. I did like work at a school, but homeschooling, I'm here homeschooling. So I collected things to actually be in a classroom and I never went to a classroom because I wanted to teach my child. So it wasn't planned that I was going to homeschool. I didn't know I wanted to homeschool or was going to homeschool. COVID happened, school happened, and I was like, ooh, I don't agree with certain things. And so I ended up being a homeschool mom. Okay, so up here are my cameras. The boys will take these out and take pictures. These basically, I don't know if this one has, this is gray film. So it prints out gray things and you could put them onto something, you know. We like to take pictures of plants and insects and ourselves and videotape, and we get to get the cool little films. Now I have a whole bunch of these. We don't really keep them. It ends up being trash. But here's the thing. They love it. They enjoy it. I love doing it with them. So we just do the things because we like to do the thing. I honestly don't know what that rant was about. I am nervous, okay? When I'm talking to myself, I get so nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're watching. So stop watching. Okay, my big globe. I just got this because we had the smaller globes and I was trying to show Jake certain places because of our history book. What was it? It was probably Spain. We were talking something about Spain. Oh, when Juan Ponce de Leon and Christopher Columbus had gotten to United States and those interactions, and then England making it to Virginia and all that. We were talking about that. Honestly, I don't remember what it was now off the top of my head. I feel too pressured and like you're watching me, so I can't do this well. Why are you laughing? They're watching me. Tell him. He's over here laughing because he's like, nah, girl, you talking to yourself. And I'm like, no, I'm talking to you. Babe, don't do that. I feel so judged right now. Stop judging me. Maybe you should go back. No, that game.
Snail.
He's over here playing
RuneScape.
Like, he's judging me. Like, that game doesn't make you laugh. Anyway, I needed a globe, okay? Even though I need to downsize into a box, I needed the globe. The globe is coming. I put my globe down. Now, this is the side where I realize that I have issues and I honestly don't need any of it. Okay. This is just simply cool. Like, I have some skeletons here and some little lights, and that is why I like to come into this room and like do card making that I don't do anything with, but intend to give it to people and write to them and never send it. Anyway, this I like because it kind of like sets up the vibe, and I'm over there drinking coffee, starting my morning or ending my day. And Blake has these from when he was younger, and they're bobcats. And I'm a weirdo. I like insects and bones. There was probably a career field in there that I should have gone to,
Between
but
Dexter and Bones.
not a serial killer.
Hey, just throwing it out there.
Wait, say it again. Say it again.
Between Dexter and Bones, that's where the bones came into play.
Anyway, they're cool.
She stole it from me.
I did. I stole it from him.
They're in a box.
And like, look at this cute lamp. Oh, I just broke the tooth. No, I didn't. Okay, another thing I think is cool, like, look at this animal. This one is an unidentified based on the other ones. It's not the same. And these are wiggly teeth. Is it the same animal? An opossum. I say unidentified because I don't know that it is, because I don't know enough about like the anatomy of bones. But I am so looking forward to high school. Like, when Jake gets into high school, we could study like this. Also have these cute spoons and crystals simply because I thought it was beautiful. And of course, some essence. I grew up, my mom used to turn on incense all the time, especially during cleaning or when she was like really, really stressed. She used to put out incense, and me, because I couldn't tolerate the smell. I'm like, leave the house. So now she's all alone in peace. That's probably why she used it. Anyway, then I started using it, and the funny thing is that Jake also coughs and everything, and he's like, Ma, what are you doing? I'm like, expelling the demons, dude. Like, And he's like, I can't breathe. And I'm like, exactly, go outside. So now I do it. In this shelf, which is by the skeleton, you gonna stay there? Go. Because she's gonna lick my face. No, Luna. Okay, so right here, Luna. Anyway, on this side, oh my gosh, Luna. In here, I have my face painting things that are not part of our homeschool. This is where I make gems for when I face paint to put like on the forehead, like unicorn horns. Now, next to that, we have paper that goes with the crafting things, but because the size of the paper that I had here was too big, it didn't fit in there. So that's why it's here. Another thing we have is the Good and the Beautiful level 3, because when my son was in 3rd grade, I was gonna do the Good and the Beautiful level 3, but then that's when I switched to BJU. Now above that is just printer paper, and next to it, my ASL book from when I was studying deaf education, and then some more reading resources that the current tutor, Jake's current tutor, gave me because we're stopping services and I'm moving. The last shelf is actually BJU for Zeke. I was going to do BJU for, I think that's kindergarten. I like master books, so we are switching to master books because they are more gentle, and BJU is very extensive because it covers a lot of things, but I don't need a lot of things covered at the moment. And of course, my Epsom Eco Tank. It's the 4760. You don't need it, but we print a lot, and that ink has never been changed since we bought it. And we bought that back when we moved to North Carolina. 4 years ago? No, 6. So like 5 years ago.
Oh, say 5.
Yeah. 6 to 5 years ago. So anyway, I want some chips. And dude, I'm just kidding, no. My knees, I can't get up. Oh my gosh. Help me, Luna, help me. After this, we reached the door, and hopefully this stays there. But at the door, we have our colors. Now, this is for Zeke, our height chart that I'm really bad at tracking, just like I'm really bad at sending mail, our calendar, and our rewards. Then we have a couch with our library books. Now, this couch is uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. It's just hard, but it's better than sitting on our desk chairs. If you've been sitting down too much in one place, moving over here actually is just different. Okay, no, let me stop. Now, during the day, our curtains are open, our whole windows are open, so we let air come in, we can see the chickens, people walking, people could see in, but honestly, I don't care. Then we have our maps. Now, remember that globe that I was talking about? It's actually this shelf. Well, this globe is so tiny. Like, I love globes. I have something with like maps and globes and bones and bugs. So this globe right here, it doesn't really show Spain that well, and especially for like what he needs for learning, it wasn't conducive towards that memorization of location or reading because it was so tiny. So that big globe actually provides us an opportunity to actually memorize location because we could actually find it and see it. And this is all the things that I don't need. Now, I separated these because I tried to sell them online, and that wasn't very successful because there's a lot of great phonics readers and curriculums in there, like BJU, because that's what we use for 4th grade. There's BJU curriculum in there. Zeke will typically sit here or stand there to do his activities. This one is great for him for sitting. However, I don't have chairs for this table, but it's at the perfect height for him to do things on the table, like straight. Lastly is the light. The light actually has an alarm. You can put the temperature, it has the date, and it has like the number date and then the written date. It's perfect for Jake because although we have a small one over here, he also looks at that one and he could write it in numbers versus words because sometimes he doesn't want to mess with words. Now, following that table and almost back to where we started, we have synonyms and parts of speech. On days where I'm like, Jake, what's a noun? And then he'll give me some other definition. I'm like, dude, we've been working on nouns for forever. You should know what nouns are because you've done it since 2nd grade. And I know where I'm getting frustrated. I'm like, okay, I suggest you go over there to the wall and read it and find out the definition and then come back to me when you're ready. So that definitely helps. Now, we basically get back to the start of the shelves of their basically homeschool curriculum. Now, above the shelf, next to those globes, I actually have a microscope that I got for my birthday one time. So let me show you that. So we have some turtles from co-op because at our co-op, I do arts and craft, and these are some polymer turtles that I actually have to bake and I forgot about. But looking inside of here, I have some facts about bees, the huge microscope that I got that has been amazing because like science, bugs, that's my thing. I have quite the collection of bugs to include the coconut beetle that I don't know if anybody saw. We went for a bug hunt and so this is one of the things we were searching for. My newest addition to my collection is this bee, and I honestly think that it's such poor lighting in here that you won't be able to see it because it's nighttime. That's our newest addition. Ah! I dropped him. I probably broke some body part. Not that he's alive, but still. Darn it, I broke his head. Well, I just broke his head off for showing you guys. That's what I get. Anyway, that's okay. We did it, recorded the video, even though I had deleted like, oh no, what's happening? Even though I deleted like this supposedly week's video and some other videos, you know? Just ain't special. No, I'm just kidding. I was trying to like edit the video and then it like ejected itself and ruined itself. I don't even know what's happening here. This camera's thinking on its own. English, ma'am? The things I didn't clean underneath the cabinet. Hey friends, thanks again for watching. If you liked our video, please like, subscribe, and leave us a comment down below. Thank you. And again, I just want to say, you don't need all this. I'm actually getting rid of 90% of everything in here. So don't feel that you need all this in order to properly homeschool. Don't feel bad that you don't have something like this if you don't have this space or the money. I've been homeschooling for 6 years, so I was able to gain all these items in 6 years. I was also donated a lot of the items that I have because I did want to teach. So I didn't go out of my way to buy any of these. Like even this thing, I got that for free. Most of my Osmo things, I got those at the thrift store or for free because somebody was giving them away. They didn't want them anymore. So you don't need all of this. If you want something like this, just know you don't have to go out and buy all this by yourself. If you have friends, build a homeschool community, go to the websites for like homeschoolers in your area. You can find a lot of these things for free. A lot of what I have, I did get for free, and some of it I did buy. Zeke's tables, they were free. This table was from a marketplace for like $20. Also, our bugs are from outside. I didn't buy those. I got those free. Anyway, thank you for coming for today's otter adventure. I know it wasn't really an adventure, but if you would like to see those adventures, because we have a whole bunch of them planned, please consider following us. Like there, down below, one of these sides. I don't know.